Good morning, folks. Welcome aboard another day building EV. I am going to get on with it and cut that down to length. I think the finger is, well, we'll give it a go, see how it is. Anyway, finger to saw is much less worrisome than saw to finger. You do far more damage that way around. So, of course, I immediately started looking at the height of this and realising that it was going to be very close to the undergunnel, and that started me thinking about things. Anyway, I got the other side cut just because it was on the saw horses, and then I realised that I was going to have to remove these boards because they weren't reinforced. Well, they didn't have a mounting point behind where they joined together. But while I was doing that, then I was thinking about the height of these upper walls. So I started messing about with the laser level and the kitchen cabinet to see how much I wanted to cut off it, and then I set about, following day I set about trying to figure out how to do this cut, and indeed whether I was going to have to actually take the upper boards down to do it, having decided that they were too low. First of all, I started by just making sure that all the screws were attached. And then I tried a couple of different things. I did try quite a lot of getting the saw at a height with the maximum amount of the foot on the wall to try and keep it straight and level, but that wasn't happening. I then tried the multi-tool, and then I had a revelation. If I just put the saw the other way up, then I'd be able to see the saw blade. So I ran along the whole thing pretty much in a oneer. By accident, then I happened to have set the saw blade to just the right depth so it didn't cut the supports behind. Just a little bit of finishing up at the end with the multi-tool. But then they would drop as I went through these supports. having spent far too long deliberating where exactly to put these sockets, then I'd lined one of them up on one of the vertical supports. There was nothing for it but to cut it out. Fortunately, by using the 12mm ply instead of 9 or 10mm ply or whatever, then it's just that much more rigid, and honestly things like this won't matter, which is one of the reasons I chose it. You may be wondering why I put quite so many sockets down the port side of the boat. There'll actually be a similar number down the starboard side of the boat, so it's 4 on each side, and that's just so that I have sockets where I need them, not because I'm expecting to have that many electrical devices. At this point, I noticed that I had not put the horizontal supports in to support the join between these two boards, so that was blooming annoying, having just started attaching that. But anyway, this board should be behind, or this join should be behind the kitchen cabinet, so I decided that I didn't need to do the sort of full board situation that I'd done on the other one, and just put in some cross members. I'm using a multi-tool to cut these out because because I've pre-finished the boards. Then if I were to use a jigsaw, which would be kind of normal, I think, then I would be running the foot of the jigsaw over the finished surface and putting marks into it, likely as not. At this point, I regretted another decision about where to locate the sockets. These ones are just a touch too high, and they're just catching the cross beam that supports the walls, which then, to make enough space for the back box, I just had to chisel a bit out. Not too much of a bother, but again, I have the debate as to whether to drop them 1/4 of an inch on the other side. I don't think I will. I think I'll probably do the same thing. Well, I think I got the angle of the camera wrong when I was putting this wall up, so I'll see what see what I've got out of that. But anyway, you can see that I've put it up and got the cables in for the electrics. Down here we've got some DC things coming out. So, well, I don't know what anybody thinks about the slightly higher gunnel area. It's about 2 inches higher than the other side, which I have yet to do. So a lot of this side was figuring out how to do things. So hopefully the starboard side will go much quicker. But there we go. It's up, and I don't think it's going to have to come down again. So that's good. I'm not sure whether tomorrow I will be getting on with the starboard side, or I might end up continuing down the port side, simply because it will then mean that I think I can get the water in, and that will mean that I can put a little more pressure into the heating system, which means I'll be able to turn that towel rad on. So that would be obviously lovely in this time of year. All right, talk to you soon.